The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Cosplay Alliance, our partners and affiliates. This episode of the Cosplay Alliance Podcast may contain coarse language or sensitive subject matters. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Noise.
All right. I always like that intro.
There's an intro?
Yeah, you didn't listen.
There's no intro on this thing.
No, the intro that he puts up, because then I always want to do a disclaimer afterwards. Like, that thing is completely wrong. This is 100% the views of everyone else.
Yeah, it's his fault. Whatever he puts up there, it's his fault. Right? Everything we say and everything we do is all on Anthony.
Oh, I see you.
I
see you brought your A-game shirt.
I'm Captain America, buddy.
Oh, I'm about to start eating hot dogs and drip mustard all over this shit. About to get in your head, essay.
All right. So what are we doing today?
What are we?
What's our topic for today? I think we're doing a review of the Thunderbolts.
Well, I think first we should, for the people that are out there that are going to retroactively watch this, the 5 or 6 of them. That just kidding. We're gonna hit them 10,000 numbers on this one.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly what they're looking forward to hearing from us. Yeah, that's what they want to do.
All right,
they really want to hear from us today.
So just so that those folks out there know, Gus and I are very passionate comic book nerds. Is there like I know weeb is an anime thing, and I'm not a weeb, but are we just going with comic book nerds?
We can go with that. I go with blurred. But you can go with nerd. Okay? You can stick with that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so Gus and I have very heated, sometimes very hurtful conversations.
That is not true at all. I'm never hurt.
Oh, hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen. Bring me my helmet. Thank you.
Yeah. Gus and I have extremely passionate conversations where more often than not he's incorrect, but God bless him. I'll humor him for a bit. So we figured, why not broadcast this to the millions of people that are watching, and we'll let them determine how way out left field you are on these stakes. Now the issue is the conversations that we have in our group chats. I think we both troll each other at the same time, so it's always hard.
I'm never trolling. Everything I say, I'm serious.
Okay, so we could go with Captain America 4 is exactly the same as the Thunderbolts. We'll do that one. Fuck you.
To put that as the title, yeah. Captain America Forever the Bold.
Oh yeah, no, we're rage baiting people in. We might as well add pictures of me and you in a bikini doing a car wash. That's
what they want to see. That's what they want to see.
That would have brought them in. I'm just trying to look up the thing that we agreed upon beforehand.
Nothing below the belt. No mama jokes.
Nothing below. Damn, that's all my points though. I have nothing but your mama jokes. God, it's somewhere around here. Oh, yeah, okay. I found it. We are going to go over. Yep. Talk about the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Thunderbolts first.
Yeah, so a couple of things we're going to go over. I want us to talk about the Thunderbolts because I think we can both agree that it's good. It's entertaining. It's a solid movie. There's probably different takes that we have on it. So we're going to go over the Thunderbolts, and then I want to talk about the guys who have been Captain America, both in comics and in live action, and see who stacks up where, because now I feel that John Walker's got a little bit more time on screen so that we can assess his character. And Sam's had a little bit more time on screen. And at the end of the Thunderbolts has proved himself to be quite an asshole when it comes to copyright laws.
So, sure, if that's what you want to go with. I got an opinion on that too. Well, let's go. All right, let's go into it. All right. So spoilers from this point on, because I believe Marvel has already spoiled the movie already. tons of times. So I'm gonna say spoilers from the beginning. The Thunderbolts asterisk is now called the New Avengers, which makes this the lowest Avengers movie in history. Just for your record, you can look that up.
That's still in theaters. It's still going.
Yeah, it's still the lowest grossing weekend debut for an Avengers movie. If they went with Avengers, they shouldn't change the name. They should leave it as the Thunderbolts.
We're going with Avengers with a Z. Zed?
Zed?
Yeah. Z.
You're American, Z. I say
Canadian, Z.
Zed. Zed, yeah.
Canadian Z, Americans are Zed.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get into it. The synopsis of the Thunderbolts: a ragtag group of mercenaries come together to fight a common good or common evil in Valerie, what's her name? De Fontaine?
Oh, yeah. I just keep calling her Elaine from Seinfeld.
That's not correct. Val De Fontaine.
No, but Vanessa Contessa
De Fontaine.
Vanessa Contessa Countess something or other. Du Fontaine.
De Fontaine. All right.
Minister of Fence.
Minister of Fence.
Of Fence.
All right. They come together to fight a common enemy, and it turns out that they are just beloved between all of them, and everybody loves them. The Thunderbolts are in theaters now. Go watch it. I'll do a little plug for Disney, even though they don't like me. But let me tell you something. This movie had a lot of heart, but it's not. It didn't. I don't know why everybody's acting like it's a different kind of movie. I feel as though it didn't change the wheel or anything. It just because it tackled mental health. It's not like Marvel hasn't tackled mental health or grief or some kind of trauma in somebody's life. They've been doing it from the beginning. So they were like, oh, this is a movie about mental health and how you need to be together and everything. And I was just like, yeah, okay. But like they did that with Wakanda Forever, which was about grief. They did that with Tony Stark with Iron Man 2 when he was had his alcoholism and he was dealing with his dad.
Was that Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3? Iron Man 3 when he was having panic attacks.
And Iron Man 3 when he was having panic attacks because he went to space and got blown to shit and fell to Earth and nearly died. Yes, all that trauma, they dealt with all that in different movies, and they've been doing that. So to say that the Thunderbolts is a breath of fresh air about mental health is weird because they've been doing it the whole time, right? It's always been present in their movies. Let's just say that. But anyways.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So my take on that is imagine if you've been dating you had 5 partners, 6 partners, and everyone treated you like crap, like one after the other. You break up, you get another one, they treat you like garbage again, and you finally meet someone who's just like, don't worry, Gus, I'll pay for that. What? Hey, just want to call to tell you I was thinking about you. You're an okay guy. Like, and they treat you like with baseline kindness, and they don't get drunk and start throwing stuff at you.
Okay, I see where you're going now. Okay.
This is where we've been at for the last several years. It's just been toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and every time I think, man, I'm gonna give Marvel a chance, they go and they get drunk and they She-Hulk me. They just go up and down the side, and I keep getting my hopes and expectations up, and it gets to the point where I don't even have hate or disgust anymore. I just have apathy. So they came along with a movie that it's good. Is it the greatest? No, but it's entertaining. And yeah, it had a really interesting take on the mental health aspect, but I would not say that was the defining thing of this movie. That the defining characteristic was that they somehow managed to take a bunch of B and C-list characters, make it work, entertain us, and make us go, huh? Yeah, I guess actually, maybe therapy's an okay thing.
Let me tell you something. The Avengers themselves were C-list characters before the movie started. So these are
in the comics. Yeah, no, I'm referring to the live action stuff.
Yeah. So these characters are D-listers at best. All of them except for Bucky. who's not a D-lister. I think he's probably like a C-lister with the Avengers in the comic books. I don't because he's tied to Captain America.
Yeah, I like Bucky. He's even in the comics and live action, he's always at his best in a supporting role, and that's the same thing in the Thunderbolts. I don't think you could have. Listen, I love Sebastian Stan. He does a lot of really good stuff, and he can lead a lot of really good movies. Just the character that he's saddled with. Bucky's mopey. He's quiet. You can't have a movie of a guy sitting there like you'd have Robert Pattinson's Batman just staring at the walls like the Russians brainwashed me, and now I'm a killing machine. But I think I'm going to run for Congress.
Well, let me ask you that. Let me put that as a topic of debate for you, okay? All right. Somebody says Suicide Squad is better. I doubt that. I don't know. No. I don't think so.
Which one? The first
one?
Which
one?
The first one or the second
one? If it's the first one, definitely not.
No.
Because the characters in Suicide Squad, you never got to know. You've gotten to know these people from different installments of their movies.
Yeah.
Right? So there's more camaraderie there. There's more at stake with it. And the Suicide Squad story, who knows what was going on? By the end of the movie, you were like, what? Who cares?
Oh, that first one was just CGI Skybeam faceless army battle by the end of it. Everything that we complain about Marvel movies.
Yeah, Skybeam, and then there was like, we have to rescue Amanda Waller. Spoiler alert. And it was like, when did Waller have to be rescued in this movie? Right? It was just weird. So no, this had a complete story. It followed a path. You went with it. You said, okay, cool. There are some gripes I have with it. Like, for instance, Valentina not knowing that the Red Guardian was her limo driver.
I was gonna say the weakest parts of this movie have Julia Louis-Dreyfus in it. Not because she's a bad actress. It's because they gave her dumb scenes like that where the plot makes no sense. Why the Red Guardian's your limo driver?
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I know that there was a press conference set up, but everyone just got Kaiba into the Shadow Realm, and like they come back and immediately they're like, oh, that's right, we had a press conference, let's go do this. Not collapse down a puddle of tears, start crying like, oh yeah, I wish my dad was still with me.
I know we're all over the place, but most of the things that I have a gripe with, like you said, is Valentina's decisions, right? It's like they wrote it and they didn't think it through all the way. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't hire Alexei as my driver. Now, if they explained it as he infiltrated the limo some way, like he kidnapped or like knocked out the original limo driver and was driving, but then again, you say it again, she's in the limo and she's talking to her employee about killing 6 people.
Right.
With the limo driver able to hear. Wouldn't she have soundproof windows or something? When you're talking about killing 6 people, I think you'd be more careful than to be like, incinerate them while they're in there. Okay? Limo driver, pretend you don't hear it. Like it doesn't make sense, but I let it slide.
The real life issue is that we got so used to Nick Fury being 15 steps ahead of everyone and being the baddest motherfucker out there. Until it turns out it was all just a bunch of shape-shifting aliens. Thanks, Secret Wars.
Right?
We got so used to Samuel L. Jackson just being the best goddamn Nick Fury that now they put in the new Samuel L. Jackson character. Like, here's another super spy person. Like, they're pulling the strings behind. Remember Nick Fury? Well, you'll like Vanessa Contessa, whatever her name is. But she's kind of sucks. like
her planning, her impressive planning. Sure, it was fun. Like I get the jokes at the beginning and everything, but the planning didn't work out, right? And then some things that I didn't mesh well with this movie. Well, like the cons of this movie is that like the third act, they cheapen you in the third act. Like everything, the beginning is good, the middle is good. To leading up to the third act, which most Marvel movie falls apart there because they do either faceless robots, Skybeam, or whatever. This one was the Void, which is cool. They did something there, but they didn't go further. And
like with the rest of the people's trauma world.
Exactly, because you had an opportunity like they gave us glimpses of it with like John Walker.
Yep.
When he saw his wife leaving him and stuff, or how he was treating his wife. We saw it with Valentino when she saw like her dad. She was the reason her dad got killed.
Yeah.
We saw it with them. Like, but you could have put those parts, and give us a little more in depth instead of showing us a repeating segment of Yelena over and over again. You could have gave us Yelena one time. Give us that nice little scene with her being drunk and depressed, and then skip over to Alexei being lonely or being like depressed over or being in jail for so long.
Have him fight a fake Captain America,
and
like they did in the comics,
or keep him running after Captain America and like losing. Because he keeps saying he's the best Winter Soldier, or not even Winter Soldier, but he's the best
Super Soldier,
and he's running and he's losing. Or have Bucky fight the Winter Soldier, and just like those things would have been really cool. It would have been like a better third act instead of them just showing up and being like, pillow fight, and you're just like, okay.
The chicken thing was hilarious.
The chicken thing is hilarious. Yeah, the bit is there.
You know what? What I agree with you on all that. The only change I would have made is show everyone's trauma moment thing, their whatever, except Bucky's, and then have that same line where he comes out. He's like, "Luckily, I have a really what does he say? Like I have a really healthy past, or something with no trauma or issues." And when he came out, I'm like, "Oh, that's so good."
I have his eye twitching crazily, like what I'm saying, like But like,
I think everyone I've talked to has been like, they 10 more minutes now. It's already runtime of 2 hours and 6 minutes. 10 more minutes. It was 2 hours and 6 minutes.
But that's a normal Marvel movie plus. Like you can have. There's always 2 hours and 30 minutes that they give us in a movie now with Marvel, right? So they had the time to do it. There's no need to cut it down. Right? You could have gave us an hour and 20 and keep that 10 minutes in of them just dealing with their trauma. And maybe it would explain why they'll get along better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like why now they're like, we went through this together. We saw all of our traumas together and we worked through it together. Now we're a team. Right?
I did like how this was a more unique take. I think this was the most unique final boss battle that they've ever done in a Marvel thing. It wasn't giant faceless Skybeam. It wasn't that everyone powered up into the fusion dance and then next thing took over. Or
the power of talking.
It was the power of friendship.
Power of friendship.
They Care Bear stared that guy. Now, this is how powerful the Void and Sentry are. He can literally bring himself back from the dead and change his hair color. He warped reality to change his hair color back to brunette. Like does no one realize that he's a reality warper who changed his hair color?
Okay,
it's minor.
Can we talk about the Sentry? Let's talk about the Sentry for a second, okay?
Yeah, you know what? We'll do the Sentry and then Sentry versus Superman, and then we could probably focus on the thing that's going to take the most time is all the different caps. And why John Walker was done dirty. And why Sam's overhyped. I'm saying right now, people in the comments come for me. I think Sam is an overhyped Captain America.
What?
Okay, yeah, we'll get we'll get there.
Right, whatever. Anyway,
I'm wearing this shirt.
Okay, so start off what you want to talk about. You want to talk about the Sentry? Let's talk about the Sentry.
Yeah.
So those of you guys that don't know, Sentry is from the comics. He's a Golden Age hero. Well, not really, but they retconned him. Basically, he retconned himself out of existence. That's why he's supposed to be a 70s hero, but he retconned himself out of existence because that's his ability. Like you said, he's a reality warper. He has the power of a billion suns or whatever it is.
Million exploding suns, which do the math on that.
That's crazy. Whatever that means. But like in the comic books, he wrote himself out of reality because he didn't want to deal with the Void anymore because of the Void is essentially part of him as well. The more heroic stuff he does, the more evil the Void becomes. So it's like a yin yang situation. Correct?
Yeah. Also, they involve Doctor Strange and a couple other people to do the stuff, but it's base. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. Their forces
So
made it so that Sentry mind wiped the knowledge of Sentry from everyone, including himself.
yeah, exactly. And he was running around as a homeless bum, right?
Yeah,
So
he wasn't homeless. I think he was just marginally employed and married to Lindy. He had that good he had that dad bod going on, kind of abusive on that body.
Yeah, so the Sentry take on the comic books and the Sentry take from the movie, they're a bit different. This one, they made him a drug addict. In the comic books, he was the scientist that made the serum, and he tested it out on himself. He just drank it. That's basically it, and he became the Sentry. Other than that, like, and then one of our spirited debates was whether or not the Sentry could beat Superman.
Holy shit, dude. I posted something on Threads about this, and the majority of people kind of agreed with my take, but then there was some where if they had my home address, they would have come and they would have murdered me and my family. They were just like, how dare you besmirch Superman? Superman moved planets and he sneezed once and destroyed galaxies. We've got fucking 195 years of Superman to draw from here. Which pick one? Pick a version. Yeah, okay. Silver Age Superman's going to win.
Give them your point, Tanner, give them your point. Say who you think would win. Say it out loud.
If we're talking live action,
okay. Go for live
action. Sentry would crush everyone except possibly Christopher Reeve Superman. That guy turned time back by moving the planet back by inverting the rotation of the planet, which did not destroy our civilizations and upset our ecosystems and cause massive tidal waves. No, this is how science works, kids. When you turn something the opposite way, this is how I stay young. Every night I spin about 247 times until I get rid of the wrinkles in my face, and then I start the next day fresh, and then I go through my days spinning. Like, this is how time travel works. Superman theory.
Your take is that the Sentry would be
every version of live action Superman. I think the only one that would give him a run for his money is Christopher Reeve Superman, because he was pretty powerful. But again,
there's a lot of live action Supermans. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't mean all at once.
No, I mean pit for pit. Like, you're going versus for versus. Like,
he's definitely going to beat that the guy that was the black and white version of him back in the day. The guy who like would suck his chest like this for 30 minutes. I can't remember his name.
I think it's George. His name was George.
George Reeves.
George Reeves. Yeah. So here's my take. Because you don't have that many.
I want to hear yours, and I'll tell you why I think Sentry possesses a couple things, but one in particular that we've seen that Superman does not have. He does not have a certain ability. But go on.
Like, I don't think physically that Superman would win in that way. I think mentally Superman would win. And not to say that Superman's weaker or anything like that, because there's going to be, again, like you said, those people out there will go crazy. Be like, Superman once sneezed the universe away. Yes, we get it.
Sentry couldn't even break vibranium arms.
Yeah, exactly. So
he could have.
From what we got from Sentry in the live action, what I would say is that if a hug beat him, because that's what happened, basically everybody hugged, and then Sentry, the Void vanished. I think that Clark, in his ability to inspire and talk and everything, would win based on mentally just being there for Bob. Even when Sentry would, let's say, Void blew him away, if the Void is only blowing people away and putting him in shame rooms? Shame.
You just get zapped into this room and you wake up, there's a ball gag in your mouth. Not again, my dark
fantasy. Oh no. What do I do? Please No snoo for me. Please don't do
Father
it.
O'Houlihan, what are you doing here?
Like, like if it's a shame room, I don't have that much shame, but damn, like, you know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, I don't think Superman or Clark would have a problem with his shame. What would be his
That's
shame?
if he goes into the void mode and does all that. But let's just assume that he stays as the Sentry.
I don't think they would fight. It's like asking if Goku.
Well, yeah, we'd have to sit there and be like, in what situation would, like, look at Batman and Superman? Basically, the motivation in that live action movie was Bruce Wayne hates immigrants, and he was worried that they would take his job. And he's like, Alfred, if there's even a 1% chance that they'll take our jobs, we have to treat us an absolute.
Like, okay,
like,
good job.
Honestly, the motivating factor behind Batman and Batman v Superman was Batman was a bit of a bigot.
Yeah, he's definitely that.
He was killing people. He's like, well, Superman, if he's a bad guy, like, you murder people just for funsies.
You're mowing down people with a machine gun.
Oh,
he's mowing them down with his machine gun, and then being like, Superman's a bigger threat than me.
We got to treat us
Let
an
me
absolute.
mutilate this guy's body.
Again, he was afraid that that an illegal immigrant was coming for his job. These aliens are coming out here taking my jobs.
He murdered 1 million people in one fight. I have to take my car and my batarangs to do that. It's impossible. I can't compete with that. You know?
Oh,
sorry, that's my bad Batman voice.
Oh,
anyways, but yeah, I think I honestly, in that way, if you're saying that they physically fight,
they have to fight. They have to duke it out.
It'd be like Superman versus Martian Manhunter, and basically
Martian Manhunter's winning that like 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Martian Manhunter. If Martian Manhunter could win against Superman, then Sentry would win. Yes, we could agree on that. Mm-hmm. But in the case of live action, I'm saying Clark wins based on his ability to talk and inspire Bob.
He'd give him some sort of speech about doing better or blah 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 blah. Shake his hand. But at the end of the day, the Sentry I like how they show this live action and in comics has, besides the reality warping, which has been shown to be inconsistent, and some people argue that Superman's kind of immune to that, but we've seen anyways. Bob,
DC Universe showed in the Watchmen, the Return of the Watchmen or whatever, that Superman is a constant, and if you remove Superman,
Andrew. Oh. Andrew agrees with me. Says you're way out to left field on here. Just like, yeah. And Andrew's he's coming for you. He's saying,
no, he's not. He just doesn't make a good point. That doesn't make a sense. Okay, I can make great points too, but it's just like I lost my train of thought now. I was just saying,
yes,
Superman is a constant. Superman is a constant in the DC universe. He needs to be there. He's the center. If he's not there, then the reality warps. And he has to be put back in, just like Dr. Manhattan had to be the Superman of a universe because Clark wasn't present. He turned himself into Clark Kent, so Clark Kent could be present, so Superman could be present. He's a constant. So you have a constant versus a reality warper. Manhattan removed Superman and saw what happened. That's what the New 52 was all about. Or not New 52. He moved Superman. Yeah, he moved stuff a bit to give Superman trouble, right? He moved his parents into a car crash.
I can't remember that was a New 52.
It was the New 52.
Was it New 52?
Because Clark's parents died in a car crash instead of his father dying of a heart attack.
Oh no, yeah, I read it. The whole thing. They moved the Green Lantern a little bit more to the right so that Alan Scott never got it, and all these little things.
All these little things, yeah.
But so, anyways, my thing is, you take away the reality warping thing that's been kind of inconsistent with the Sentry. He has done one thing that Superman hasn't really been able to do on his own, and that's resurrect himself. He has Jesus powers. Sentry has been able to bring himself back.
In the movie, that's ridiculous.
In the movie, he resurrected himself twice. He was Bob. Bob died twice in the movie. The first one, they gave him the Sentry sermon. He made those people go, pfft, and then they put him in the box because they thought he was dead. He resurrected himself in that
it's a stasis box.
Oven. Pardon?
Why would you put somebody who was dead in a pizza box? A coffin.
They thought he was dead.
No, they didn't. They had him in stasis.
I don't think so.
That's what. They
they
had him in
thought
stasis. He's not dead.
they thought he was dead.
Wasn't-
Watch the movie. They talk about how he was
Nope.
dead.
Nope.
He
The
brought
Sentry
himself
Project
back.
No, that they had the Sentry Project working. They put him in stasis to keep it safe from everybody else. They couldn't find a way to kill him. That's why they
She
put him in
was
stasis.
very surprised that he survived.
Exactly. Yeah, because
We're
in
gonna
the
have to go back and
box,
watch this movie.
yeah. In the box, I watched it twice already, or 3 times now with my daughters. Yeah, because they want to see it again. But he's in the box because they didn't know what to do with him. They couldn't kill him. If they could kill him, they would have. They tried to, they couldn't. The Sentry Project was something that they failed at. They thought that they failed. They thought that he died, but they put him in the box
Okay.
to keep him preserved. And then the box was in the incinerator. They just happened to open it. You wouldn't put somebody in a casket and not just throw them in whatever. He was put there because they're preserving him.
Oh, look at this. Thunderbolts, as he showed no signs of life, OXE believed Bob to have died just like the rest and put his body inside a stasis container.
Yeah.
We got Low Eagle said they thought he was dead. So just for argument's sake, we've seen him resurrect himself at least once, possibly twice.
Superman did it twice too.
No, how did he resurrect himself? Did he spin the planet around real fast?
What are you talking about?
He did
Sunlight.
not resurrect with Doomsday. He did not resurrect himself. He got put in some sort of Kryptonian cryo chamber thing. Sentry just kind of farts weird, and he's back to life. he's like, oh no, I've been defeated, and I'm back. Like,
wait, are you saying that he could do it himself, like Superman? Or are we talking about like in the movie?
Superman cannot self-resurrect. Sentry can.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that in the movies? Are we talking about comic books wise or what?
Both. He does. Sentry does it in the.
The comic books, yeah, that's fine. So the Superman, but Superman needed outside help to bring him back in Zack Snyder's thing, right?
Yeah. Low Eagles. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, said it was surprised that's why she showed up with the army, because she didn't know what to expect. Let's be honest, she probably showed up with them because she didn't know what to do, like most of that movie. Contessa was just kind of winging it. That's the thing. I've never seen anyone pull plans out of their ass like that and get so lucky. Oh no, the thought. Oh, I gotta go behind this curtain. Surprise! It's a press conference. And why would Bucky all of a sudden be like, "Yeah, I'm cool with this"? All of a sudden.
Oh, let me tell you why. Because Bucky is a performative ally. He's nothing but performative. If he was written better, he would have been like, "I'm not down with this," and just left. But they didn't want to do that because it's bad. That's the bad part about it. Because if he was a friend, and he claims to be a friend of Sam's, which he gave that nice speech to Sam in Brave New World. He said, "Oh, you were meant to be Captain America," all that stuff, right? But it's all performative because the moment Sam risked his entire freedom to free Bucky, to help Bucky, his entire arc from Winter Soldier to now,
sure.
Sam's been the one to help with Steve from day one to help Bucky every step of the way. He reaches out to Bucky every step of the way. He's helping Bucky. The moment it comes time for Bucky to help Sam, or to say, "I'm not down with this," I'm gonna even to show up for Sam to help with the Red Hulk. He doesn't show up. He just is only there for performative stuff. Like, "Oh, I came to help you with your boat." Okay, maybe he gave him the wings. Sure.
He could have given him $20,000.
He could have given him some money too. Because guess what?
Hey, Roberto. Oh, buddy.
Bucky can be a U.S. congressman when he was a past assassin. He was a terrorist. He was a murderer. He was on the run for 10 years or more.
He
right?
also fought in World War II.
Yeah, but okay. So I guess that's super.
Can't take that away from him. Like,
okay. Fighting the Nazis for like this amount of years, then working with the Nazis for this amount of years.
Yeah, but how many people know about the Winter Soldier thing?
Everybody knows about.
I bet you that there's some sort of in-universe.
You know why they know about? You can't even. Don't even say that. Whatever you're gonna say, don't say it, because Black Widow released all the secrets to everybody.
Yeah, that movie.
Go again. Yeah. So everybody knows that. That's how they found the tapes that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents. There you go. Bucky is nothing but a performative ally.
Oh, that's right. Hey,
That's the
speaking of Black Widow and Thunderbolts, you know who I thought had the best character arc in Thunderbolts?
Mhm.
Taskmaster.
Fuck you. Again, I don't want to sound. I don't want
Hey,
to
Zach.
sound. I don't want to sound bad. I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound like I'm sexist or anything. But Taskmaster from the beginning, I don't know why they wrote it like that. It should. They should. If it was good,
You know.
no. If it was like I said,
Say it
like
for the audience, Gus.
if I said as I said this, I wish that when we were talking about it in our group chat, and I was talking about it mostly. If Taskmaster was named Antonia Master, or whatever her name was, that would be Taskmaster. Like Anthony Masters is Taskmaster, right? If you're gonna give me a Taskmaster, give me a Taskmaster. Like I'm not saying that you have to change the whole character or whatever to make it more interesting, because you just killed her off. Like even the whole idea of her being killed off in the Thunderbolts was stupid to me, because in the Black Widow movie, she was a force of nature. She had vibranium plated armor. She had all this stuff, and all of a sudden she comes in with a tactical vest and a helmet that doesn't protect her head against bullets. She was damn near bulletproof the last movie.
Maybe they're adamantium bullets. Let's just
Yeah,
just throw
like
that out now.
Low Eagle says right now. He says
Oh
Sentry should have
yeah.
killed her. That would have made more
that would have
sense.
been so cool.
Yeah.
But again, are you done with that? Because I actually got a good
Yeah.
reason for why they killed that character off. First off, they dropped the ball on Black Widow. They gave Taskmaster the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool Wolverine origins treatment, where let's take a character that's known for shit talkery and make them mute. You know what people don't want to hear? Deadpool talking. They do that way too much in the comics. And Taskmaster is always rambling. That's part of his thing. Like he shit talks in fights all the time, and
All the time.
they made them mute. I don't care that they made Taskmaster into a woman. It was kind of
I don't care either.
It was kind of silly to see a dude's body with a lady's head when they did the reveal. Like, are they just wearing a big padded suit, or is this an exoskeleton? What's
right? Exactly. So why would she
strange.
go? So why wouldn't she? Why would she? If she had that suit, which upsets me still, she had that suit, the tactical suit and everything, where she looked like a man, and all of a sudden,
Talking like a
you'd
man.
and then all of a sudden you'd go to this tactical vest
Mhm.
with no armor plating that is not bulletproof, and your helmet's not bulletproof. That is ridiculous. That's a downgrade. Never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
No, it's all right. So the reason that killing off Taskmaster made sense at that point from a narrative perspective is, one, all of a sudden you give this movie stakes. Like, oh my God, I was from when they shot, spoilers, when they shot Taskmaster to every scene to when they ignited the thing to when they were climbing up, I kept expecting him to come back.
Oh,
Bye, Zach. Bye, buddy. I kept thinking Taskmaster was coming back every 5 minutes. I'm like, and now, and it was about 30 minutes after death where I'm like, fuck, they killed her. Like, I was so convinced Taskmaster was coming back, but after the movie, I thought about it. Taskmaster's whole point of existence ended in Black Widow. Her dad was Natasha's big bad. He's dead. She was a reminder of Natasha's mistakes. Well, Natasha's dead. What they tried to do with Taskmaster is create a Winter Soldier for Black Widow. You don't need 3 dudes with shields in a movie. And they didn't give Red Guardian a shield, but they should have. You don't need
well, you
don't need a bunch of
right?
shield wielders and essentially 2 Winter Soldiers. I would have loved to have seen the back and forth dialogue with Taskmaster and Bucky, where they're just like grunting at each other, like, Russians, right? Yeah, I got brainwashed too. Yeah, me too. Well, my dad sucked. Like it would just be that. This is why I love David Arbor's Red Guardian, because if we didn't have that dude's comic relief, it would have been so fucking depressing. We've had just a bunch of substance abusing, alcoholic, sad people.
It's him and like he is the actual. I hate to say, he's the actual glue of this movie. He's the glue, because if it's not for him, because he's the one trying to convince them.
And I hated him in Black Widow, and you're right, I loved him in Thunderbolts, but I hated how they made Red Guardian a clown in Black Widow, but it worked very well in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's the glue that brings them together. Well, not brings them together, but puts the idea in their head that they can do this, right? But even though it's for selfish reasons, his is that he wants fame and glory. Obviously, it's not altruistic for him. It's more for fame and glory. But at the same time, he's in need. Him and Elena are in need of family. They want a family.
Low Eagles there. Red Guardian. David Harbor. Yeah, that's right. Harbor's character. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want me to fact check that for you, I can. But whatever. But he's the glue that puts them together. And Yelena's another thing. That's the development. Like this is how a character is well written to do things in this comic book world. Because you start off with her in Black Widow, she makes a splash, but then you continue with her in Hawkeye. And Hawkeye, you get more of her personality, more of her comedic chops and everything like that. And in this one, there's a downfall because now she's lost her sister twice. She lost her through the blip. She lost her through the spy game. She's lost her 3 times actually to Thanos. 3 times.
Yep.
She's lost her sister. She's depressed. And her father wasn't there for her. Her make-believe father wasn't there for her because he was just like, I'm not good enough to be your father, basically. That's his thing. Right?
Yeah.
But Yelena her character development is great. And that's why people are saying she's better than the original Black Widow. Because the original Black Widow was just like, not to say that Scarlett Johansson didn't do a good job. She did. But she fought for her role to be expanded on. But they didn't do that in a way. They just wanted her to be the sex pot, if that makes sense. Like, at a point she was trying to bang Bruce Banner. Like, why? Like, that's
she could do a lot better.
Right? Like
Thor is right there. Right there, lady.
Right there, right? Like it makes more like
oh, this nerd that might rage out and rip me in half seems cool.
Right,
this
from the
Asgardian king.
When you chased me through the helicarrier, when you chased me through that really got my juices flowing. Dude, what, Hulk? We should be together.
She's got daddy issues and a whole bunch of red flag problems. That's why she's going after a guy that would essentially just like the Hulk is kind of a metaphor for abuse, and she just saw that and was just like, "Hold my widow stingers, boys."
But that's what they made her. They made her into a sex pot, and it was just like at first you thought it was going to happen
that's part of her character's thing, where she intentionally uses that in order to manipulate
men, right? Yeah, sure.
It's always it's been like that in the comics too for decades.
But look at what they did. Yelena's a sex worker, buddy. She owns a porn company in the comic books. You can write Black Widow better, okay? Yeah. So don't tell me they wrote Yelena now better than they did in the comic books. So you could have done that with Black Widow as well. Not saying that she should have been a sex worker or something, but I'm saying they could have wrote a better Black Widow.
I never got the indication that Scarlett Johansson's character, true Black Widow's sister is a problem though. She is a beast. She's a beast. I never got the impression that Natasha Romanoff was ever upset with her historical stuff. She would say it like, I've got a lot of red in my ledger, and then that'd be it. Like you never saw her break down over it. Yelena is just like crashing and burning over can barely function. And we see her, and who of us have not been just drunk out of our minds, sitting depressed in our bathroom right by the tub?
Not me. No, sorry. Never drank it. Anyways, but
because I have so much red in my ledger, Gus.
I was just saying they could have just made a movie about Budapest and gave me that with her and Hawkeye.
That'd be so good.
And give me some history. Maybe that's why she was maybe that's why she was depressed, because she killed a whole bunch of people in the Budapest, but they never told us about that stuff. They just glossed over it.
Yelena, definitely a more fleshed out Black Widow.
More fleshed out.
Yeah.
Very fleshed out character. And
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. I like that. That's a good take. But
Yeah.
like,
I like that
another
she hasn't lost her accent like Scarlet Witch did after 5 minutes. We're from Skarkovia, and now I'm in love with Vision. He's my husband. So, they even call her out and they're like, "What happened to your accent?" What accent? I'll never tell.
Another well-written character, even though some people may not say it, like a well-written character, is the John Walker character.
Damn right.
He's well-written. Doesn't mean he's a good Captain America. I just said he's well-written.
I love the part where they're ragging on him for being Captain America for 5 minutes. They're like, didn't you kill an innocent guy? And he's like, define innocent. Yeah, absolutely. Define innocent. So I want to know.
That's not what happened.
Yeah,
that's not what happened. That's not what happened. No one said that he was innocent. What they said was, didn't you decapitate somebody in the street, because that is a cop killing somebody.
No, they said, didn't you kill an innocent man? And he goes, define innocent.
He didn't. No, that wasn't in the movie.
That was in the movie.
They never stated he was innocent. They never stated.
Anyone in the chat remember that scene?
It doesn't need to be in the scene. They never stated he was innocent. No one said. They said, didn't you execute a man in the streets? That's what they said. He's never innocent.
Sure said innocent. I will have to.
Nope.
I'm gonna go back. Innocent. I'm gonna record this.
Record it. Put it on your calendar. I don't care what you say.
You don't care if I can show you the actual scene.
I have the scene in front of me. There you go. I have it illegally downloaded right now.
There we go.
He's never said it.
How often do you guys stream on comics? I'm like, Captain America, I can do this all day, man. We
fight all the time.
Even one, oh my god, Gus was here. We were making Captain Falcon wings, and I loved our discussions, because like in person, this is exactly the same. We will have very long, in-depth, super. Oh, there it is. I found it in Thunderbolts. Ghost tells John Walker, "You killed an innocent man in public." Yeah, Ghost said it.
Ghost.
Yeah. You killed an innocent man in public. Define innocent. That was the thing. John Walker, define innocent on TikTok. Yes, I'm right. Internet agrees with me. You can. Hold on. Thunderbolt.
Play it. Play the sound.
I'm just gonna send it to you.
Play this. I can't watch it now. I'm on the phone. Anyways,
I got TikTok. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. That's what everyone came here for. They came to listen to me find TikTok clips. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Ah, success! I win. Good debate. Good night, everyone. Woo!
Yeah. But anyways, so I admit that, but it doesn't make sense that his whole platform was that man killed his partner, but he didn't kill his partner.
No, he was part of a group though, and my question is, what were the rules of engagement that they were given? So
that's the thing, no one knows that the rules of engagement. They didn't give us the rules of engagement. First of all, let me talk about John Walker for a second, because I have a problem with John Walker. Do you know the moment that John Walker was given the Captain America mantle, and everybody said that he was a better Captain America than Sam already before he even got Super Soldier Serum. He was already
wasn't Captain America by that point.
No. I'm saying that I understand Sam's logic, because as a black man myself, I know that there's people out there who would be like, you can't be Captain America, right? And that's what they would say. And he was like, I'm going to put the shield up in the museum and whatever. But the government decided, we need a Captain America, and he has to be a white dude. And they gave it to a white dude. And the moment they gave it to him, everybody accepted him. They even paraded him out and was like, new Captain America. He had no powers. But that was acceptable. Now, when Sam becomes Captain America, you have no powers, and it's not acceptable.
Go on.
Everything's like, oh, he would die, or blah blah blah. But John Walker could be Captain America, fight 6 super soldiers, and it was okay. All right, cool.
I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, there it is. So yeah, John Walker wasn't some dude that showed up and was chugging beers and went, woo, white privilege, give me that shield.
No. They
tell you what he did have.
Best.
3 medals of honor.
Yeah, 3 medals of honor
to get one.
Yeah, I understand. He also did war crimes, so it doesn't matter.
He didn't war crime. He may have he did regular crime, depending on how you look at it. He got fucked over so hard. So I'm
not talking about him executing the guy.
Oh,
that's
okay.
fine. That I'm talking about, like, he admits in the show that him and Lamar were part of war crimes. When they were talking to each other, they're part of war crimes that they don't feel that the Medal of Honor that they received was warranted because of what they did there. Now, that could be PTSD, sure, but the way that he talked in there, the way that he talked about it was that he might have done some questionable things that he feels that he doesn't deserve that Medal of Honor, or one of the Medal of Honors. I'm not saying all 3, but whatever. Now, again, like I said, everybody had a problem. John Walker was the best of the best, let's say, right? Well, you're saying John Walker is the best of the best. He had 3 medals of honors. He was not some lazy slub who had fat all over him and whatever. But just as well, Sam is as capable as Captain America. As he said, I do everything Cap does, but slower, right? Which is an understatement. If Cap's doing something,
I think he does it faster. If you watch Cap 4, my God, he had like an Ant-Man helmet with Wakandan vibranium wings and
to make up for his non-super strength, which makes sense. But like, Sam has been with Cap, who is an Avenger, who by his right is Avenger himself, right? Sam is an Avenger. Captain America is an Avenger. Sam was with Cap every step of the way, doing everything with Cap. And Captain America, Steve Rogers, chose Sam Wilson because Sam is the best candidate for the job because he knows what to do, right?
Yeah,
Sam doubted himself. Sure, Sam doubted himself. That's understandable because that's an amount of pressure that a black man taking the side of Captain America, as they stated in the series, is tremendous amount because no amount of work that he puts in will ever be good enough. He can't even land in a trailer without people nitpicking about he would die from the crushing of his wings or the force that he's going down on. Whereas
that's not how vibranium works, folks out there. For anyone watching, it would negate that. There was a lot that he did. Even in Thunderbolts, Bucky was doing shit with that vibranium arm. I'm like, yeah, that's because it negates the fucking force of that, so he wouldn't be crushed. Yeah.
Right. So, like, I don't get the narrative that Sam isn't good enough to be Captain America because John Walker, when he had no serum, everybody was like, yeah, he could still be Captain America. But when it's Sam, who was an Avenger, who's been in every fight, who's fought in every fight, he's not good enough.
Okay.
Now, don't tell me that there's no race to play in that, but there is some bias there for sure.
You guys excited for the Ironheart show? Oh boy. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Ironheart show because the mantle of Captain America can be passed down. And Ironheart can definitely make an Iron Man suit. I made an Iron Man suit. What the hell? Other people.
Tony Stark made his suits in a cave.
He made his suit in a cave.
With a box of scraps.
So, and she's making it in the garage with technology all over the place. And she made it in Wakanda too. So you got an explanation as to how she can make a suit. I'm just saying that Sam should be is a good Captain America. Is he better than John Walker? Absolutely. Because he's a better Captain America. Not a physical specimen like John Walker, but he's definitely a better Captain America than
Anthony
John
Mack
Walker.
Is a goddamn physical specimen. My God, you see that guy's quads? Jesus,
I seen it.
Like they are huge. Like he is 90% quads.
Yeah. I see the quad. Those shorts are not. They're not doing any favors.
So with regards to
I lean into that. Your 4 Captain Americas that you're talking about.
Yeah,
I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, with regards to that, this is where. So I'm going to start first with John Walker versus Steve Rogers in the comics, and even in the MCU, they are both Captain America in terms of representing different American ideals. Captain America is that classic American exceptionalism, the freedom of the individual to manifest their own destiny type of thing. That country was really founded on.
The strong protecting the meek.
Kind of like that American spirit of hope, and I could do this all day type thing. Whereas John Walker represented a version of American patriotism where it's the government knows what's best, and the way to be a patriot is to be loyal to your government because these are your elected officials. They're going to want what's best for you. Both have their pros and cons towards them, but I don't believe that one was ever more or less patriotic than the other. It was just that their approaches to what they believed patriotism to be is what they took into their different versions of Captain America. So
John is a super cop. John is a super cop. He's a super cop.
Most soldiers would disagree that they're
no. John is a super cop. He's the epitome of what cops, not all cops, but what bad cops could be. Once they have the power. The moment Valentina makes fun of him with words, his first reaction is to shoot.
He's also on super steroids at this point.
No. You don't blame the story. Now you're blaming steroids. That's his mentality.
It makes good better, and it makes bad worse.
He's the part of America that is like, we are top authority and we are better, and therefore we are going to use our force to take what we want or do what we want. And that's what he was doing in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He is in Europe telling other people who are on a mission that they have no jurisdiction in the area that they are, while he has no jurisdiction in the area he's in.
Captain
That's
America's
how ignorant he is.
He's
Wait,
the Wakandas were there too. The Dora Milaje were there, and they had no jurisdiction.
But that's my point. That's my point. He's telling them they have no jurisdiction when he and himself don't have jurisdiction.
Well, we don't know what agreement that they had with the government there. Maybe they were allowed to be there. Was it secret? I'd have to go back and watch.
Obviously, if they had agreements with it, then sure, whatever. But if you can't tell somebody, oh, you don't have jurisdiction. If my king told me, or if Canada said, go over here and do this.
Yes, we have a king. Went there. We do have a king.
No,
Charles is your king.
Yeah,
you will do the goddamn oath of allegiance right now to King Charles.
Right? Like, that's the thing. He went in there thinking he was better than the people that are there. Let's put down the pointy sticks and let's talk, whatever. But every time he had an opportunity, or anytime and the people think that Sam and Bucky bullied him, but they didn't bully him. They actually were trying to help him at first. But the thing is, he's a government tool. He's using his stardom to do things, like to get Bucky out of jail. He went in there and he was like, "Hey, Captain America, hey guys," and he went to the cops, and he was just he's hamming it up. He's shaking everybody's hand and doing things that Captain America wouldn't like that. Steve Rogers.
Yeah. We have to differentiate that they are that they are different.
That's the whole point of the Civil War. The Civil War that they had between the heroes was that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Civil War from the 1800s. Like, Jesus,
oh, absolutely not.
Fucking time, Gus.
Yeah, Steve said from the beginning, what if we don't agree with the government and where they send us? If people need help and they say don't go and help them, and we go and help anyway, right? Those are the things that John Walker was going and doing with the authority of the U.S. government, because they said, go here, get these people, get them killed or whatever. But we don't know what the rules of engagement are, which you said, right?
Yeah.
He was a tool of the government.
Yeah, we got a little off track. I wanted to say something more about the mantle of Captain America. And this is where we could get into an interesting discussion. who makes the determination? Is it the government that supplied Steve with the super soldier serum, the costume, the adamantium shield, all the stuff that that physically represents Captain America? Yeah, he had the mantle for a long time and then says, I want this to be my successor. Steve arbitrarily chose Sam because he likes Sam. Sam's a buddy. Cool. John had to go through a very rigorous process with many, many different candidates in order to get chosen. It wasn't essentially nepotism that got him the role. He was thoroughly vetted by the same government.
Sam's not a nepotism. Is like more of a relations between father and son. That'd be like saying, like, I don't know.
I'm gonna say nepo baby, nepo baby. Falcon's a nepo baby.
He's not a nepo baby. Sam is a partner. Let's put it this way: I'm gonna put it this way. Like I'll use cops then. When a detective becomes a commissioner or whatever and goes to the highest rank, right? The person who becomes the next detective or commissioner or detective, are they a nepotism baby because they were with the? Let's say that they were partners.
Nepotism can be between friends as well and family. It applies to all those things. The previous chief can make recommendations, but there is still let's go with the Ottawa Police Services. Sure, they can make recommendations, but there's still going to be a vetting process, and ultimately, I think like the mayor as well has input into all this. Like it's a huge process to determine who does all this. So in terms of vetting, John Walker went through a process that was a little bit more thorough than like, well, I'm pretty old now, Sam, so here's a shield. Don't you can take over for me. I know you had a rough go. I don't like that they took away the Falcon persona because I thought that was a really well fleshed out character, but it's comic accurate. The only problem is that instead of making Sam his own Captain America, they keep trying to interject Steve Rogerisms into him, and that's not what made Anthony Mackie's a charming guy. Like he's not a stoic speech. You gotta do better, Senator. Like he's charming. He's charismatic. Lean into
that speech. That speech. I'm just gonna say from there, you can tell that the corporate Disney people had something to do with that speech. Let's put it that way.
Stop calling them terrorists. I don't know, Sam. They use violence and threats of death in order to further political agenda and messaging, which is
they were refugees.
They were refugees with bombs trying to burn people in cars.
They're
classic
refugees as well.
Misunderstood, not terrorist.
Refugees. That's where it falls apart. That's where it falls apart with the Flash Smashes because as the rewrites of the show happened because they didn't want to do the original thing, they had to find something, and then it just fell apart from that point because at every point when they were doing the show, at every point in that show, the Flag Smashers weren't killing people; they're getting supplies and everything, and then all of a sudden they're just blowing up stuff, and it was like they weren't doing that before. What they were doing was just stealing supplies to give to other people. So it was more of a Robin Hood situation.
I see that from Low Eagles. John Walker supposedly is the strongest super soldier.
Well, yes, in the MCU and in the comic books, he's stronger. It's the MCU. His version of the super soldier serum is better than Steve's.
Well, he didn't have the Vita Rays.
Vita Rays.
Can you imagine? Yeah, if they just he'd be like Arnold if you combine Arnold with just 5 more Arnolds. But in the comic books, he got his powers from the power broker, which zapped him with some sort of laser. Like he purposely chose to undergo a procedure with, and then many other people did, and they would take part in the superpowered wrestling.
Even Lamar,
yep.
Battlestar. So that's my thing because again, this falls under the trope of the magical Negro, if you know. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all over the place.
That's awesome. You guys,
basically, Sam before he became Captain America, Sam is the trope of the magical Negro. He helps Captain America throughout the entire run of his Falcon thing. He's the sidekick.
Yep.
Black Panther is the essential magical Negro in all of the Infinity Saga. He has the magical kingdom that has the magical herb, that has the magical barrier that Captain America magically or goes to because he has a friend that can help with vision.
Okay.
So the trope is there throughout the whole thing.
So what you're saying is Black Panther 3 should be called Black Panther
the magical
Negro Black Panther.
Well, that's what was happening right there. That's what happened. And that's why people are like, oh, Sam doesn't have character development because they never saw him as a real person. They saw him as the magical Negro. So the magical Negro is not made to be in the spotlight. And that's why people have a problem with Captain America Brave New World, because now Sam's in there. And you're saying he doesn't have charisma or he's not doing his thing properly, when really he was there the whole time.
The best parts where Anthony Mackie's allowed to be Anthony Mackie and be charismatic and charming.
With Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, in the vein of all that stuff you're saying, so my question to you is, how do you feel that Sam essentially had to get the Captain America shield and mantle handed to him by a white guy?
See, it was always going to be a white guy because all the heroes are white guys. What are you talking about? Who else would give it to him? Who else would give it to him?
What about the Hulk? He's green.
Why would the Hulk give it to him?
No,
Captain America's a white dude. Captain America was a white dude. He gave it to him.
This is why I think John Walker went through a better process where it was a committee of people.
Yeah, but
it seemed like a fair process. If you're going to have a bunch of
the whole point of Captain America, or like Steve Rogers' Captain America, was that he was a good man, not a great soldier or whatever, right? So Sam's a good man. He's not the perfect soldier, which Captain America, Steve Rogers, saw and was like, great, I'm going to give it to him because I know he's going to do well with it, regardless of what happens afterwards. Now, Steve's point of view is that Steve wasn't like biased and to say he didn't think in a way of, oh shit, this is a black man receiving the shield and he's going to have some hardships. He thought of him as an equal, and that's why he gave him the shield. Steve is a good person. Even the theory that Bucky should get the shield is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. Because first of all, Bucky is an assassin. He's not like they were best friends. I get it. But Bucky spent 100. He's 100. He almost spent 75 years killing people for Hydra. He spent time killing
and yet
people.
He was allowed to run for Congress, which I don't understand. So the same argument against me in Captain America. They're like, no, you can't be Cap, because of your history. But like, yeah, Congress should be fine. So Low Eagles, I don't know if you saw that one. Wrote the only person to see him given the shield will be Black Panther. That would have been interesting. Is if they destroyed Cap's shield, and then
which they did in Endgame.
Yeah, and then it gets rebuilt by the Wakandans, who then give it to Sam and saying that Steve would have wanted you to have this. I think bringing Old Man Cap back and showing him looking like my Clint Eastwood at the end there. No, Sam, I don't think I will. I think that was a mistake. They should just have him go.
I think it's comic book accurate because Old Man Steve gives Sam the thing.
He becomes Old Man Steve because the Iron Nail sucks out the super soldier serum from him, which is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying tonight. The Iron Nail sucks out the super soldier serum from Steve Rogers, making him old. Jesus Christ, that was a thing.
But that's the thing, right? Because that could have worked, right? It could have been they all meet up, just like in the comic books. They meet up instead of like
no diddity.
No diddity. Thank you. I didn't know what to say. So I think that would have been a better idea. I think it should have been just like the comic books, but in Wakanda, where they make the shield, right? Mm-hmm. Steve comes back, but as Old Man Steve, right? Yep. Comes back, he holds a meeting, and they say, "Hey, everybody, I'm old. I took my time. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna pass the mantle over to Sam.
Sam,
like that. and have Black Panther give it to him if you don't want a white guy giving it to him because whatever. I don't care. But like,
yeah, it's just
that would have been
your views on that.
Yeah, it's just like I don't have a problem with being him man in the Shield because he kind of deserves it. But like having Bucky have the Shield afterwards, Steve likes his friend. He loves his friend. He went against the government for his friend. See, Steve and Sam went against the government for years.
Yep. So that's where I get into who makes a determination of who could be Captain America legally. Is it the government? And I would be surprised if they would give it to Sam because he essentially fought against them for many years, whereas John Walker is a highly decorated, so like 3 medals of honor.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the government giving it to John Walker. There's no doubt about it. The acceptance of the people who are saying John Walker is a better candidate, sure, that's fine. I have a problem with the amount of people who are saying that Sam doesn't deserve to be Captain America or he can't be Captain America, which is weird because Sam's doing all the things that Captain America was doing.
Sure.
Right? So it's okay for Steve to be captain, but Sam can't be captain. Bucky can be captain. He's a murderous terrorist under mind control.
I'll be the first one to say that even in the comics, it was a mistake. And he even says in the comics it was a mistake for him to try out the Shield.
The Shield and everything?
Yeah.
Because all he wanted to do was kill people.
Oh, he had a gun. A shield, which is I love that the U.S. agent had a gun and a shield, and it's made so much sense.
It makes sense. Why would he go without a gun? He's a U.S. agent.
Imagine Steve Rogers shows up and he's getting ready to fight GSP, Bartok the Leaper, and they're going back and forth. And Bartok says some trash talky French stuff, and then Steve pulls out a gun and shoots him in the kneecap. Just like walks over, just Indiana Jones him. He's like, I could do this all day.
West here, baby.
Shoots the other one.
America! Woo!
Which is John
Never
Walker.
Miss.
John Walker is that modern day
cowboy,
the American version of patriotism. Cap is that throwback individualistic freedom. I always thought that they showed it well in the comics, and I think they showed it well in the movies. And the thing with John Walker is they gave him essentially his own personality, his own mantle, his own everything. Yeah, here you're Captain America for five seconds. You screwed this up. Now you're going to be the U.S. agent. Whereas with Sam, they handed on the mantle, but again, they're trying to just put too many Steve Rogerisms in.
That's fine. I agree with that because they think that he has to mimic Steve Rogers, and that's not. I'm not saying that. I think the writers or the people who are writing for Marvel and everything, they're scared to do something different because everybody's against this woke thing, like being awake and seeing the injustices is wrong, but they don't want to push the envelope because they're going to lose fans and people are going to be like, I don't want it to be political. And it's like, his name is Captain fucking America. He's political. Stupid for people to say, I don't want politics in my thing. The whole point of what was it? Was it Winter Soldier or was it the Winter Soldier? Was that Hydra was in, it's political. They were spying on people. It's political. Everything about comics is political. But the thing is, the writers are scared to give Sam a personality to say Sam is going to face racism, to face inadequacies. They don't want to say, they're going to be like, no, he can do it. And they're just going to say he can do it. And it's like, at the same time, show us that he has those doubts. Like in Brave Road, when he had that doubt, like, why am I doing this? I just got this kid killed, almost killed. I don't want to do it. And Bucky had to step in. They're scared to do those things, right? They'd rather tell us, you're not Steve Rogers from Harrison Ford. You're not Steve Rogers. And that's what everybody mimics because they're like, yeah, he's not Steve Rogers. But, like, give him his trials and tribulations. Make his personality shine. What makes Sam cool was that he has a funny bone in him. He likes to do things. He likes to make jokes. Right. I know Captain America before was stoic, right? But this Captain America is a bit different. I'm not saying make him fucking Chris Tucker, right? I'm not saying make him Chris Tucker, but let that shine through what he does. Like, when he throws the shield, he's like, say something like, I don't know, like not say like assemble or something, but like make him say something where he's just like, you guys didn't think I could throw that shield that hard, huh? And just like, like while he's talking, like there's mannerisms in there that they could put in that they haven't.
Yeah. You got me there for a second with that Chris Tucker. I was getting him confused with Chris Rock. I was going to make a joke. Like Sam's hanging out. Will
Not
Smith
all black people look the same.
Yeah,
not all black people look the same, Tanner.
What I don't get is why did they give War Machine the Captain America shield? I don't get it, Gus. Yes, obviously.
And the people that say, why does A-Train have the American street? And it's like that. It's all racism there. But I'll let that go. But like, yeah, my thing again, I don't like Bucky as a thing because I think Steve understood that his friend went through so much goddamn trauma.
Oh yeah,
being Captain America, even in they're trying to show you that Bucky, as much as he likes to fight, doesn't want to fight. Right? There's certain things he'll fight for, but he's not out there looking for a fight. He just wants to be left the fuck alone. Like,
dude, I think in Endgame, Bucky should have been the one to go back, not Steve. There was so much more story left in Steve Rogers, Chris Evans. Bucky needed that happy ending, man.
But okay, so here's my thing, right? Like when you say stuff like that, right? That makes sense, right? Sure. Have Bucky go back. Why not? What's the problem with Bucky going back? Nothing. He could have possibly stopped the other Winter Soldier. Who knows? I don't know. But like Bucky going just relaxing. He just wants to relax. They show you in every movie he just wants to relax. He wants to do nothing more than relax. He doesn't want to fight. The only reason he wanted to fight was John Walker. He in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, he is the main. He's a shit disturber in that. He's like Sam. Honestly, I think Sam would have worked with John Walker if it wasn't for Bucky.
Yeah. Okay. So we're getting to the end of this. Let's talk about that one thing, the after credit scene where we find out that fucking Sam Wilson is suing them for copyright of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's doing that? And why is he not an asshole for doing that?
He's not an asshole because guess what? For me personally, like if it was me personally, I'd be doing the same thing. What are you talking about?
So who
are my friend?
Who owns the Avengers copyright?
You are my friend. You are my Tony Stark would have owned it. He probably would have copyrighted it, most likely.
Do you think it would be tied into buying the whole Avengers Towers
kind of thing? Yeah, probably.
Or the government. Because here's what I don't get isn't Sam working with the government by the end of Cap 4 to reform the Avengers, or was he off on his own?
He's on his own. He's on his own. Because the president showed that you can't trust the president of the United States. You may as well just do it yourself.
I don't think Sam would have much of a legal leg to stand on unless he was trying to tie in the Captain America's shield to the Avengers name.
Unless it wasn't done before. Let's put it this way. If it wasn't done and no one did it and he did it, then guess what?
Pepper Potts. If they were able to show that Pepper was like, yes, they have, we're allowing them to use the Avengers brand. That would be the only thing that I could see where they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because I honestly believe that Tony Stark is not stupid because some people are out there that are weird. Like there's a guy who told me that Steve, when he fought Bucky and Steve, he was wearing a spare tire suit, and I was like, "That's ridiculous." But yeah. Like I think that Tony Stark would have copyrighted the name, left it to
100% for franchising and marketing rights
because he's there's no way a futurist like Tony Stark did not do it.
Yeah.
Now, if Pepper Potts. Like, let's say Sam went to him and was like, yo, I fought all these things and blah, blah, blah. Who are these guys? And they're all criminals. Yep. They're all criminals. They're all mercenaries. You can say what you want. Every single one of them. One is a Russian spy. They're not even American.
Do you think Red Guardian even has some like a green card or some type of temporary?
I don't know.
I think he's there illegally.
He's there illegally. There's definitely he is.
They're coming from Russia. They're in our hotels. They're living. They're taking our shields. They're taking our jobs. Their superhero
right.
jobs.
The only person that like is legally supposed to be there, I think John Walker, because he's a U.S. citizen. But Yanella's not. Red Guardian's not. Bucky, okay, sure, but like he's an ex-terrorist, and you got Ghost, ex-terrorist. Bob is a drug addict and a criminal who killed almost all of New York.
Low Eagles, who broke out of prison. I think they've all broke out of prison at one point.
Yeah, but but everybody's favorite Captain America can't break out of prison, so it doesn't make sense. Like even the president of the United States went to prison and broke out. Like, what are you talking about? Like at this point, everybody's been to prison. Is your president has been in prison, or is a 34
the Red Hulk?
The Red
Red Guardian. Oh yeah,
Red Hulk is in prison. The real president of the United States is a 34.
Red Guardian was in a prison in Siberia.
It's Siberia. They all been to prison. So don't come for me and say, "Oh, wasn't Sam in prison too?"
Maybe he defected. Maybe Red Guardian defected at some point. We're just inserting stuff that makes it a better film.
But that's the thing. The copyright thing. He's not an asshole for doing it. Again, like I said in the beginning, Bucky is performative. Bucky should have been the first one on that microphone as a congressman as well, who come out and go, I did not sign up to be a new Avenger. This is a sham. These guys are. His whole thing was he was bringing those guys in as evidence against Valentina.
There's no reason at that stage for him to stand there and not go over and say, well, actually, we uncovered that this dude right here is a secret illegal experiment, and he was the guy. There's so many. Well, then that would have just kind of negated, like, we're all here for you, Bob. And first chance to get, he stabs Bob in the back, and Bob goes.
But that's what the truth is. That's not who fucking cares about Bob. What do you mean? On a legal standpoint, they were trying to get Valentina kicked off the CIA because they knew she was a threat, right?
Yeah, they're trying to impeach her. And they had everything.
Bucky. They had everything. All the evidence is right there. What just happened with the Sentry and with the Void is a result of Valentina human experimentation. And these 6 people here are my evidence. Because they were going to a Congress meeting before they went to New York. But they had to go to New York to stop Bob. So that's why I would sue Sam. Sue Bucky or the group, because guess what? Bucky is a piece of trash. In my moment of need, he didn't come to help Sam. He's not helping Sam right now. He's still on the team, and he's still fighting with criminals, whatever. And instead of being like, oh, let's bring in some new Avengers and let's do this together, they made a whole team without Sam. Of course, I'm going to be like, what the fuck?
Which is so weird that they wouldn't have talked to him prior to that, like, hey, or that Sam would be like, oh, I'm reforming the Avengers. You have another god, a super god on your team. Yeah, we could use that. It seems like.
But you know what? In the end credit scene, they do say that they talked, like it didn't go well. And from what I gathered from that, the little, like, I'm gonna speculate. You could speculate it too, but I think that they actually fought about it, like.
I bet we're gonna see that scene. We're gonna see it in another movie.
Yeah. Because I think, as me, like, you see how angry I got about that. I risked my entire life for almost 15 years to defend you. For 15 years, I was a fugitive on the run for you, and you don't have the audacity. You're gonna have the audacity to make the new Avengers, whereas you're not even gonna call me. I reach out to you all the time, and they show it in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I call you all the time. I try to make amends. I try to be your friend because I know you're lonely, and you don't want anything to do with me, but you want to fuck my sister.
Yeah. The most did Sam ever interact with Ghost or the Red Guardian? Ooh,
No, Ant-Man, no.
I don't think he did.
Red Guardian. You don't even know about the Red. No one knows about the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
That was a Black Widow thing. No one. It's not a part of the Avengers. No one. Natasha didn't come back and go. Yeah, I met my dad again. That was like a one-off thing.
Yeah, but
And that's the problem with those movies.
You need it. Well, the problem with Marvel for so long is that they started doing the TV shows, and then now you have to do extra homework. And for people that don't watch the shows, like I haven't even watched all the shows. I love that stuff. They kind of burned me out, especially Secret Invasion. My God,
that was a piece of trash. We're not going to talk about that,
right? Man. What was I gonna? I was gonna ask you one last thing. Oh yeah. Do you think the Sentry could have broken Bucky's arm? He looked like he was gonna break it.
I don't think
he wasn't even trying, and it was.
He wasn't trying. He wasn't trying. I think he was just like, I think he was just burning it, like melting it.
There was something going on there for a second. I'm like, oh, is he gonna break it? No.
I mean, it's vibranium is breakable. They showed you that with
Doesn't Red Hulk
Thanos.
break it? Yeah. Well, Thanos used a sword, which, for all we know, could have been
different metal,
been some type of space metal. It could have been vibranium itself. Which
so we can tell that it's breakable. So if he has the power of a billion suns, definitely.
I think they only gave him 1,000 exploding suns in this one. Which
did they?
They say 1,000 exploding suns, and in the comics,
1,000?
Yeah, and
that doesn't sound that impressive.
No, a million exploding suns in the comics.
Yeah, 1,000,000 suns. That's impressive. Like, I don't know, one exploding sun is enough, but a million? That's nuts.
Again,
there's no upper limit.
I think that was just writing, but in the comics we've seen he overloaded the Absorbing Man, which no one has done before. He made him literally evaporate into nothingness. He overpowered the Molecule Man, and the Molecule Man was so strong, Dr. Doom used that guy essentially as a bomb to kill the Beyonders. The Sentry was more powerful in terms of manipulating the molecules than he was. What else? Tearing
but you see, but that's where it falls apart, because the Sentry lost to the Hulk.
I'd say they tied, and then he got knocked out.
You say they tied? That meant half of his face was missing.
And it wasn't just the Hulk; it was Worldbreaker Hulk, and he still fought him to a standstill, so that they both depowered. Sentry turned into Robert Reynolds. Hulk turned into Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner knocked out Rob Reynolds, and then he turned back into Worldbreaker Hulk.
That's a win. A win is a win.
I don't think so. I think that we're gonna call that tie.
You you call that Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner beat
Rob.
I'll give him that.
Beat old beer belly Bob. Just he gets depowered and he like punches him. But yeah, that was Worldbreaker Hulk. I think any other version of Hulk would just get, except maybe Double Hulk, would get tuned by I heard a theory that Bucky Arm was absorbing some of this.
The heat from his hand.
I heard Low Eagles. I heard a theory that Bucky Arm was absorbing some of the Sentry power, supposedly. I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But he doesn't have that dissipation thing that you saw with Sam or Black Panther's suit.
Sorry, there's another nitpick for me. I know I have to go, but there's another nitpick for me. All right, another nitpick for me. There's a part in this movie where Bucky punches a whole fucking truck and just
again.
Tomorrow again. Blah! It goes up in the air. I said, all right, cool. Bucky is powered.
Are you talking about where he punches the ground and he's got the cable?
No. I'm talking about the truck where he blocks the truck. And he bounces it up. Yeah. That scene, and then seconds later, 3 super soldiers can't hold up a wall. A piece of a wall. 3 of them. They're holding up.
Yeah.
That kumbaya moment when everybody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are pushing up a wall. Yeah. They didn't. I don't think they need that.
No. That's where you get into the strangest of vibranium. Would doing this negate the force coming down, or would he be able to catch it better? And now the force added to the weight of the wall is negated, and it's just the weight of the wall at that point, not the momentum adding to the force crushing down towards you. Because that's normally how it's portrayed. You see these guys falling, the vibranium arm, it's the first thing to hit the ground. Boom! Now you can land properly. The ground that was able to negate the force of the truck, but it's such a weird bullshit fucking metal. I just like it when it's like unbreakable.
So my problem is that the power scaling changes dramatically, right?
Yeah.
Where Bucky can take out a whole truck, right? 2 trucks basically, but he can't lift up a piece of wall, concrete, which is I don't think would be that much heavier than a truck in weight scale at speed, because whatever, right? Like Kumbaya moment when everybody pushes it up, and then the next scene, Red Guardian takes the full brunt of almost the same wall on his back, breaks it in half to save the girl. And I'm like,
we don't really know how strong he is with his like USSR knockoff super soldiers. I'm like, it
right?
still burns when I pee, but big muscles. So
he ages and stuff. What kind of brand of super soldier you get? Oh, Hydra.
Right. All right, man. I think we should wrap up. This is fun. It's the start of the third quarter, and the team is still playing without their power forward.
I gotta go. My game starts at 8.
Bro, you get out of here. This was fun. I think, folks, let us know what you think down below. Who is your favorite Captain America from the comics? Which one do you like the least? Which one do you like the most? Who would win, the Sentry or Superman? My money is on the Sentry, but
I go with Superman.
Yeah,
every day.
You could be right, or you could be me, or you could be wrong. So I go with a Sentry. So yeah, let us know. And if you guys want to hear,
sneezed away a universe. Okay, good night.
Yeah,
Superman
if you guys in the future want to hear me slap Gus around with some more logic and facts over comic book stuff, let us know. I'm just kidding. This was fun, man. This is good. I like this.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Bye.
All right, peace, guys.
If you're watching this episode on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out other episodes of the Cosplay Alliance Podcast. The Cosplay Alliance Podcast is also available in audio format on all major podcast